This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
It's the house!
Did you hear what I said?
Huh?
Did you hear what I said?
It's the house!
Gray is so mean! Why are you throwing me in jail right at the start of the show? Thanks, phony pin. I don't know if it's gone in there yet. It should show up on there. If not, anyways. Well, there it is. We still got the goal. We're doing a day show, a regular show now. Yeah. So, anyways, there was a press conference today. They identified one of the other victims on, that they found during the searches down on the on Gilgo Beach down there. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different beach names, but just for the sake of, identity, you just kind of say Gilgo Beach, right? I mean, there's like 47,000 different beaches there. Hey, you like that? You like the Ice Baby?
I'll be back if you want me to.
Awesome show as always last night.
Thank you, Cindy Lynn. Notice how she threw "as always" in there. If she had said "awesome show last night," I'd be wondering, well, what about the other nights? Much like, as I often say, if a man tells a woman, "Boy, you look nice today," man, is he in trouble at that point? Because as soon as you say today, they, well, what about the day before? Or what about... So you really just say... I don't even know how to say it, because if you say, wow, you look nice, then you'd say, well, how come you didn't tell me that yesterday? Yeah. Hey, thanks, Mom Jeans. Look at this. Watch Chloe up here, everybody. Watch this. Watch it. Look at that. It's like an actual... And the only reason it ended it was because Blue moved away. He took off. He went, hey, what are you doing? It was too human. Yeah. Someone mentioned 2 different fires on a manor. Huh? Yeah, don't worry about it, Ramble On. We're going to get to it, okay? Thanks. Huh? Let's see. We're back. Okay, good. Where have you been, Karen? She's one of the normal Karens, by the way. Did you hear, Gray? All right. Let's see. So why don't we? There was a press conference with Rex Heuermann's attorney a couple days ago, so we'll play that one first, and then we'll get into the press conference. It's only like 6 minutes long, so it's not a big, it's not going to take a while. But.
All right, folks. So I can hopefully answer some of your questions.
Hold on. There it is, right there. Okay.
All right, folks. So I can hopefully answer some of your questions.
I'll start it over in a second. I just want to make sure I got the audio good. Right there. And there we go.
All right, folks. So I can hopefully answer some of your questions. I don't know much.
Can you move over to the right?
Sure. Okay, you can stay here. Today we had.
So I boosted up the audio of the questioners and him, so it might sound weird at times. Hey, thanks, Kathy Chapin.
Our first conference on the case. We conferenced with the judge in the back. The district attorney provided us with apparently 8 terabytes of discovery, which we're obviously going to go through with fine detail
I'll beat you back if you want me to.
Loved your rap last night.
over the coming months. I understand there's going to be more discovery forthcoming.
Thank you, Danielle.
And we have a new court date of September 27th. That's the next scheduled court date. And again, it's going to be a conference date, and we'll update the judge on where we're at. So if I can answer some questions, I'll do my best to answer. Well, he's incarcerated. You know, he's a man who's never been arrested before. He's maintained his innocence from the inception of this case. So he's doing the best he can at this point in time. He's looking forward to having his day in court.
He was looking over
What
his
kind
shoulder
of
at the
thoughts is
gallery.
he sharing with you?
Family?
I didn't see him looking over his shoulder.
Do you know if he's had any contact with his family?
Sure, he's had contact with his wife, yes.
Has she
And
visited?
family members. I don't think she's visited yet, obviously, because she doesn't want to be ambushed by the press. So she hasn't been.
I'll tell you what, this one right here is 16 minutes. Well, no, the whole thing's 16 minutes, so let's just play this.
She hasn't visited him at the jail.
Spoke to the press at her house.
Does he have any remarks?
Do you have any questions about the case? I'm happy to answer.
Does she have any remarks about the fact that he filed divorce or she's filed divorce?
He hasn't. I'm not representing him on that, so I can't really discuss anything about his divorce.
Last time you said he was emotional.
He was
after hearing
emotional.
about the charges. Has it settled in? Has there been any change in his emotion since?
Well, now that what I've been meeting with him at the jail, obviously we're talking about substance as opposed to the initial shock. So now it's really gearing up towards the defense of this case.
Does also support her husband? Does she support her husband? Does she believe he's innocent?
You're going to have to talk to her. I don't know. I haven't spoken to her.
Yeah, she believes he's innocent. That's why she asked for a divorce.
Mr. Brown.
What kind of a stupid question is that?
That's only about his case in the public. How do you view that? Do you have concerns about him possibly affecting a possible jury down the road?
Yeah, I'm not trying this case in the press. This case is a case that we're going to try in a courtroom. The press has convicted my client without seeing a shred of evidence. So he doesn't stand a chance with the press. And we're not going to try the case in the press. I doubt that any one of you for a moment have even contemplated the possibility that they have the wrong guy. So what we're going to do is we're going to defend this case in a courtroom. In the courtroom we just were in, where we have 12 fair and impartial jurors, where we have a fair and impartial judge, where words like presumption of innocence and beyond a reasonable doubt, where words like that reign every day. That's where we're going to try this case. So we're not going to try it in the press. We're going to do our due diligence.
And yet
we're
you're
going to
talking in
defend
the
this
press.
case in a court of law.
Do you feel like police and authorities have the wrong guy?
Look at, he goes, I'm not going to try this in the press, and here he is. He actually, in a minute here, he says how he doesn't trust law enforcement. He doesn't think that they, whatever it is. I know there's people out there that think that. This guy right here is a hero to the wackos in the Koberger and Richard Allen Delphi case. They love a guy like this.
All I can say is he's presumed innocent. There have been hundreds, if not thousands, of leads in this case, and we haven't even seen them yet. I know about these leads from you folks who have reported these leads for the last 10 years, 12 years. So the answer is they very well could have the wrong guy.
How do you explain the DNA link to Heuermann's wife, the Google searches, and the cell phone locating data?
Have you seen the DNA yet?
I'm asking how you.
And I'm asking you, have you?
What the prosecution says links your client to these.
I haven't seen anything yet. Have you seen anything?
Well, I'm asking how you, as his lawyer, explain what the DA describes as voluminous amounts of.
The government is looking to convict my client. I haven't seen anything. So I can't sit here and defend DNA and recovery of evidence and things that they claim they have until I see it. I haven't seen anything. So I'm not going to, at this point in time, I can't tell you what defects, if any, are in any of their evidence because I haven't seen it yet.
What has your client told you?
What has my client told me? He told me he didn't do this.
Mr. Brown.
Yeah, well,
I thought you weren't going to try it in the
District
media.
Attorney's office has a whole office. It's the biggest law firm in this county. I'm one guy, right? So Ms. Koish is going to be co-counsel on this. We have other attorneys that I expect.
I'm not going to try this in the media. My client told me he didn't do it.
Excuse me. I'm going to be assisting on this. And just to pour through the discovery is an enormous task. But we're prepared for it. And we're going to do it. And whether it's a year and a half or 2 years, whenever that day comes, we're going to go in a court of law, and we're looking forward to defending this case.
Do you think?
For quite a bit talking about the discovery process, and you heard obviously everything that's in your hands now. I mean, just can you give a sense of the amount of evidence that you have in your hands now?
So what I was provided with today is what, and I'm not computer literate, is 8 terabytes of information. So I was told that a gigabyte is 6,000 pages, and I was told that there's 1,000 gigabytes in a terabyte. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, it's enormous.
Do you plan on going through some of the evidence before the next court date?
Of course.
Right.
I plan on going through it as soon as I get back to my office when I'm done talking to you folks.
Do you think you could have a fair trial here in Suffolk County, or are you considering moving it?
Well, that's obviously something we're going to look into in terms of change of venue. Unfortunately, or fortunately, you have the press reporting things to the public. Sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's skewed. So now you have the people in Suffolk County who are going to be sitting on the jury. We only hope that they will be fair and impartial, that they won't be influenced by the members of the press, and that they can listen to the evidence and decide for themselves if they have the right guy.
How quickly will you be sitting?
So what else were you guys covering?
The discs weren't handed over until we were in the courtroom. But what we were doing is discussing receiving of evidence, how it's going to be transported to our office, and how it's going to be forthcoming in the future. Again, this is a significant case, so it's not like it takes
I have this crime scene filter on here. Don't you think that looks kind of cool, that look?
a minute or two. There's a lot involved in receiving discovery.
Do you anticipate taking up their offer of having someone from the DA's office help you go through that?
I'll take up anybody's offer to help assist on this
Do you
case.
expect another indictment against your client?
You'd have to ask the district attorney. I don't know the answer to that.
It's been reported he's
And by the way, thanks everybody for the super chats. If you'd like to help support the channel, allow me to keep doing these shows every day. I have these day stream goal up there, and it allows me to make an income on the channel, and then it also allows me at the end of the month to I donate over 50% of the net revenue to YouTube, and by net revenue I just mean after I pay taxes. There isn't any, hey, I bought a pencil, let me write that one off. Okay, so if you guys help out, would help support the channel, it allows us to keep doing. We've given from my income $163,800 since January 2020. That's pretty crazy. I keep thinking, man, you could build a house with that. But we've built a house of goodness out there, especially our DNA fund. We've put $65,000 in it. So in this case, they identified Karen Vergata, which we'll hear about here in a minute, using FGG, exactly the same thing that we pay to have done using Identifinders International.
been on suicide
Thank you,
watch.
Lisa
Is
L.
there concern?
There is none. So what happens with suicide watch is the jail customarily, as a matter of course, when they have an inmate coming in, put somebody on suicide watch. So they have a
Thank you, Georgina Stolicare.
medical evaluation, and there's been no indicia that he has in any way indicated a suicidal tendency. That's just pro forma.
And Rex wants to go to trial. He's not interested in a...
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is I donate the money, but the freaks are the ones that keep me going. I mean, without what you guys do, we wouldn't be doing it. I just do the show, and you guys support the channel, and it's sort of like a symbiotic win-win relationship where charities kick ass, I do shows every single day, and I make an income.
Deal of any kind.
There's no plea deal. He said from the moment I met him that I did not do this. So we're prepared to go forward. We will defend this case in a court of law, and we will go to trial on this case.
So he's dealing charges for child sexual.
Let's just say numerous.
So he is dealing hopefully.
He's feeling hopeful about
Hey, thank you, Teresa Mary. Wow, happy Friday, freaks. I just passed the goal right there.
He doesn't have to be proven innocent. The burden on this case is on the district attorney or the government. They have to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
How do you explain the charges that he was Googling child sexual material?
I don't know.
Yeah. See, this is where he goes off the rails here. Wait, we gotta do this one. most part.
burden on this case is on the district attorney or the government. They have to prove their case beyond the reasonable doubt.
How do you explain the charges that he was Googling child sexual
Yeah, how do you explain the charges he's Googling child, all these different things?
material?
I don't know what kind of evidence they have. Again, that's the district attorney who has the obligation, and they're the ones who are going to provide us with the discovery. So I don't know what type of evidence they have.
Are you going to present any evidence?
I haven't even seen their evidence, so I can't even tell you what, if anything, we will do.
I don't even
It's
know
too premature.
anyone else who does it,
You
Jim.
said that he was Googling explicit material related to children. And what does your client say about that? The material
Have you seen that yet? Do you believe everything the government says?
See, this is where he goes. He's getting crazy now, right? Yeah, they're just inventing these Google searches.
I don't. So I understand that the government has told you certain things. I don't believe everything the government says. So I'm going to wait until I get the evidence.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't believe everything all the time. I mean, you know, there's some weird stuff it's been going on in the political world that is absolutely false that's been put out there. So yeah, we have that.
Get the evidence. We're going to examine the evidence.
But this is a criminal case. Why would they make up something about searches on a computer?
And we're going to move forward from there. Any other questions? I got to go into two more questions.
The cool part is somebody actually challenges him on that statement.
Ms. Koish is on this matter. Mr. Russo is on this matter, and we have 3 or 4 other attorneys that are now going to start the process of reviewing discovery.
So you believe the government is plotting against your client?
I didn't say that.
Fabricated these searches?
I didn't say that.
Then
I can tell you
that
from.
we shouldn't believe the government.
I can tell you. Well, I've been doing this for 30 years. The government makes allegations all the time. Sometimes the allegations are true. Sometimes.
You mean sometimes? How about use the word most of the time, or like 99%?
They're not true. Sometimes when they accuse somebody of committing a crime, that person is guilty. Sometimes when they accuse somebody of committing a crime, that person is innocent.
You mean not guilty? Sometimes they're just found not guilty even though they did it.
So I don't know what is to bear. All I can tell you is he needs to get the presumption of innocence.
Right, but you've seen
Anybody
the
else?
application that shows that these searches were made on murder phones that were linked to Heuermann.
I'm sorry?
You have seen that evidence. That
I haven't seen, I'll repeat it again. I have not seen 1 ounce of
Well, that means you're dumb, okay? Because it's been out there.
evidence on this case. Today in court was the first time I was handed anything, and it's in the form of terror.
Well, you could actually print off the search warrant or the affidavit that was out there. That's evidence, actually, right? I mean, it's
terabytes. I can't read a terabyte with my hands or my eyes, so we have to download that and start the process.
Are you going to seek bail at all in this case?
What I'll say is this, down the road, if certain things come to fruition and come to light that I think would warrant a change in his custody status, we will certainly make that application to the judge.
But right now.
Well, at this point, it would be silly for me because we don't have any, I haven't seen any.
Are you comfortable with the list of evidence provided to you as described today, and why or why not?
I haven't even looked at it.
But as it was described or listed today.
So what was described and listed is I got 5 vanilla envelopes, and they have a terabyte, or 2 terabytes each. I don't. That's all I have.
Do you know, are there thumb drives inside, or are you getting hard copies?
They're big black terabytes. You know what?
big black terabytes. What a ignorant sounding, stupid. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. You mean a hard drive?
I don't know. I think they're hard drives, right? Is that what you call them?
Right. Yeah.
Hard drives.
Is that what you call them? What? How old are you? Is that what you call him? He's trying to pretend he's 75 years old and hasn't ever worked with technology before. This guy's like, what, 40 at the most? I mean, give me a break. This guy's...
That's what I got. I got 5 hard drives that was handed to me 30 minutes ago. Okay?
And you have them in your briefcase now?
I have them right here.
I didn't know that terabytes...
How involved...
You know, it's amazing, everybody. I've got some red terabytes that I'm buying later. And boy, are they cool. They're really... You can't really see them. But I'm telling you that they're red, okay? Because this guy got black ones, there's red ones. You can also amazingly buy these chartreuse ones that are very expensive, but you can buy them.
This guy is so excited to be the assigned public defender on this case and get his moment of fame in history. Rolling eyes face.
That's right, Tierney.
Does Heuermann with his defense so far?
He is an involved, obviously interested party who's going to be a big part of assisting us in the defense of this case. All right, guys, thanks very much.
Okay, bye. Actually, that's not unlike how some people hang up the phone when they're done with the conversation. Okay, bye. Look at that. Watch this. Oh, shit. Let me go back.
30 minutes ago. Okay?
And you have them in your briefcase now?
I have them right here.
How involved is Heuermann with his defense so far?
He is an involved, obviously interested party.
That's exactly who I was referring to. 8675309.
All right, guys, thanks very much.
She doesn't even do that, though. It's like, hey, all right, well, I got to go. Bye. You know? There's no lingering. It's just done. That's probably the best way to do it, right? Yeah. All right, here's the press conference today.
Wherever everyone's comfortable. Good morning, everyone. We're here. I'm here with our fellow task force members to announce the identity of what has formerly been known as Fire Island Jane Doe. On April 20th, 1996, female remains consisting of legs and feet were found on the bayside shore of Fire Island, about a mile west of Davis Park Beach. Then, approximately 15 years later, on April 11, 2011, additional remains consisting of a skull were discovered at Tobay Beach in Nassau County. That skull was found following the discovery of the remains of Jessica Taylor, and the skull was found on the same day as the remains of what is commonly come to be referred to as Peaches was found on Jones Beach. Thereafter, in July of 2011, the Suffolk County Crime Lab.
You know, you guys, I think Rex Heuermann did every one of these murders on here. Okay? I think he killed every single person on this stretch right here. I think he just changed up his MO over the years. I think he killed all of them. And people go, well, I don't know, because no, listen. In 1996, Heuermann is 32. That's like right when he's probably stronger at that point. He probably killed people in a different way, and then he changed his MO up later because at that point, he knew that some of the body parts had been found, because 1996, right? And so then he changed his MO after that, and he started to, he put the camouflage burlap sacks or coverings on them, and threw them into the side of the road, thinking they would never be found. But for the fact that Shannon Gilbert was missing, they wouldn't have been found. They would have been there for decades. And I actually think that this road that they put in here was because of that. But I think Rex Heuermann killed every single one of the people of the bodies that you see here. Every one of them. All right. So
linked the two sets of remains via DNA analysis. And by that I mean the legs that were found in the vicinity of Davis Park were compared with the remains found at Tobay Beach, and it was determined that it was the same person. Since 2011, that victim was known by various names, including Fire Island Jane Doe. Today, we are here to announce that as part of the Gilgo Task Force...
Why do you put "but," Scott, at the beginning of your sentence? What I'm saying is that they're all on the exact same beach. The Asian male is something he referenced in one of his searches. They're right next to them. What are the odds that another serial killer that's killing sex workers is putting them all on the same beach as he is? There's no chance, okay? It's like 1 in a billion.
Examination of all the evidence in the case, we were able to identify Fire Island Jane Doe as Karen Vergata.
Who cares if he's gay or not? What does that have to do with anything, Timothy?
Who was 34 years old at the time of her disappearance. And I believe we have a picture of Miss Vergata. And I think it's important that we remember and honor not only Miss Vergata, but all the victims on Gilgo Beach. Ms. Vergata went missing at approximately February 14th, 1996. At the time, she lived on West 45th Street in Manhattan.
Okay, so they say she lived on West 45th Street in Manhattan. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, right over here. So they have her living right here. I mean, look how close it is to all these other places that have to do with Heuermann right here. Okay, this is where she was living in 1996. Now, I don't know if Heuermann was working downtown at that time or where he was working, but she also had another place. The address, believe it or not, she's the only Karen Vergata that exists on Been Verified. And the address that she had at the time, whenever it was right here in Brooklyn, I believe. So right there, she lived in that building. Don't know what year or anything like that. So she also lived there, and then, but they say she lived on 45th and West 45th Street in Manhattan. So I don't know exactly where she could have lived over here. I mean, 45th Street's along, well, that's east. So I guess it would be from probably like right here over. So not too far off, regardless. That's where she lived at the time, they say. I'll play the whole thing. Let me just show you this. So there was a Vergata, a family member died. So it says Dominique N. Vergata of Glenwood Landing, New York, on December 22nd, 2022. Beloved husband of Virginia, loving father of Victoria J. Vergata, the late Karen Vergata. So they must have had her declared deceased. Had to have done that, right? Then also, I found this interesting. I found on newspapers.com, Karen Vergata is, like, there's only one person in the United States with that name. And this is May 9th, 1981, 15 years before, but she was 34. That means she's 19. So I'm wondering if she would be somebody that left home and ran away, because this is Karen Vergata, please contact me. I care and love you, Jim Peacock. All right, so I think somebody was looking for her back then, like she was a runaway. I mean, isn't that interesting to see that in there? So that would have been when she was like 19 years old, and it's in Florida. So you go from New York to Florida. Those are the only two places where her name is ever mentioned in newspapers.com, is New York and Florida. So I think that is what that was, what I found there. All right. So back to the press conference. Let me just rewind it a little bit.
Case, we were able to identify Fire Island Jane Doe as Karen Vergata, who was 34 years old at the time of her disappearance. And I believe we have a picture of Miss Vergata. And I think it's important that we remember and honor not only Miss Vergata, but all the victims on Gilgo Beach. Ms. Vergata went missing at approximately February 14th, 1996. At the time, she lived on West 45th Street in Manhattan and was believed to be working as an escort.
So you're going to tell me, so she's working as an escort, 1996, same general area that Heuermann would get his prostitutes or sex workers, escorts, whatever you want to, whatever term you feel like using. I use sex worker. You're going to tell me that it's a different killer, even though it's the same place. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day, yeah. It's the same place.
0 to 7 months.
That he would lure them, and the same place the body is found, general area, and the same type of individual, a escort, and Heuermann is 32 years old at the time. Man, there's come on, you guys, seriously.
the time of her disappearance. There was no missing persons complaint filed at the time of that disappearance. In August of 2022, approximately 6 months after we formed this Gilgo task force, a DNA profile suitable for genealogical comparison was developed from the remains of Karen Vergata. In September of 2022, the FBI was able via a genetic genealogy review to identify Ms. Vergata presumptively as Fire Island Jane Doe. Thereafter, in October of 2022, using a buccal swab from a relative of Karen Vergata, we were able to definitively identify her. Prior to disclosing this information, of course, we needed to contact all of Ms. Vergata's family members. And additionally, at or around the same time, we were beginning our grand jury confidential investigation into what has been known as the Gilgo 4. That is the murders of Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Barthélemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Cobb.
What is that? Here's the 7 months.
To 10 months.
Oh, you've been here for 7 months. Well, thanks, K-Me. And thank you, Danielle.
Costello, so we decided we were not going to make any public comment at this time. However, since that, the results of that investigation have become public, and we have made the necessary notifications to Ms. Vergata's family, we can make this important announcement now. I just want to thank, in particular, Special Agent Lori Giordano from the FBI in her work with the familial DNA. She worked in conjunction with our Suffolk County Crime Lab, Don Dollar of the Suffolk County Crime Lab, his team, in coordination with the Suffolk County Police Department's Homicide Unit. So I want to thank them in particular for all of their work. Of course, I want to thank our task force members, Suffolk County Sheriff Errol Toulon, ASAC Spencer Horn from the FBI. I want to thank the New York State Police, Suffolk County Police Department, Rodney Harrison, who couldn't make it here. I understand Chief Rowan is here in his place instead. But I want to thank them for not only their work on this case, but for all their work in the task force going forward. It's important to note that there are no charges at this time. Miss Vergata's disappearance was in 1996, which is 27 years ago. We are going to continue to work this particular case as we did the Gilgo 4 investigation. We're going to have no comment on what, if any, suspects we developed at this time. This is a confidential investigation, so I'm not going to be taking any questions, but our investigation is continuing, and thank you all very much. No questions. If you want to talk about something regarding the Gilgo 4, I'm happy to talk offline to you. But today, this press conference is about Ms. Vergata, and that we've been able to identify her, and that we're continuing our investigation not only with regard to the Gilgo 4, but all of the victims on Gilgo. So thank you all very much.
Yeah, that's sort of interesting. I mean, I'm just looking on Ancestry over here. She might be from Ohio originally. Trying to find any sort of... aren't too many. I mean, actually, no, there's none. As a matter of fact, her name doesn't show up on Ancestry. Now, Vergata is there's Vergatos, so that's probably not the right one. Wow. That's amazing. I wonder if we checked out on that, go to this one. This is what they do on Ancestry.com. I mean, when they use those websites like that. See, on here, let's say you're trying to put together the tree. Well, look on here, you can see, here's Karen. That means her mother's probably, or I don't know if that's a guy, Dominic Vergata right there. Probably a guy. Of Glenwood Landing, New York, on December 22nd, 2022, beloved husband of Virginia. So then now you might be able to say, okay, it's Dominic, but there's very few Vergatas out there. So, anyways, I think 100% that. Whoa! What the hell was that? Just a second. Let me go back to that website there. That image we were just looking at. Let me see if I can find this Dominic Vergata in New York. Domenico Vergata. There's one right there. Dominic Vergata. Yeah, died in 2000. That says 2019. But spelled it correctly. I wonder if that's the one. Don't know. Anyways. You have to do some more research on this one. I'd just like to find out more about her. What I'd like to find out is, like somebody mentioned up above, what does she look like? I mean, we see her face and everything, but is she 5 foot tall? He might not have developed his... See, it could have been a situation where he realized if he had to put up... There was a struggle when they were a little bit larger, so then he ends up picking these really small people. But I think it's more that he picks the small people because they look more like what he's really attracted to. See, he's really attracted to children. That's why he has all those searches. So he picks these really small people so he can pretend that that's who they are. And then he uses sex workers because he thinks that nobody's going to be looking for them, which is generally a truth, even though it's not, They do care, law enforcement does. They're just not a priority often because, they're deemed to have placed themselves into a risky environment in the first place, so why not go help out the truly innocent people first? It's more like a triage, if you have a whole bunch of different cases. Yeah. So let's go back down on the beach here. We've got Costello. And Costello, her case is the key case to solving this one. So I believe Costello was the one that was right over here. Yeah, so Heuermann, if you remember, I think it was on, let's see, September 2nd. His burner phone travels west on to Babylon over here in this area. And then on the same day, like I think Amber leaves the house and is never seen again. Because they remember that was where the ruse was done. They go to the house, there's a ruse, and the boyfriend comes in. He's already paid the money and says, "Hey, what are you doing with my girl?" And then he takes off, and they keep the money. But then later, let's see, it says at 1:18 a.m., Costello gets a text. And then it says right here, I think Heuermann's a burner phone contacted Costello at 12:05. 1:18, Costello gets a text message. So I'm not sure how that worked out. I'm going to have to go read that again. Hey, thanks, Mag. But it looks like at 11:17, which matches the burner phone. It's driving down the road right here, and she leaves the house, and she gets into the car. And then it says right here, I'm not sure why, though, on the second. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is 12 a.m., and this is 11:17. Okay, I get it now. Yeah. So he goes over to the house at 11:17-ish, and that's when... So I'm not really sure why I have 11:17 is when she leaves the house for the last time. I think that should be... later, because she gets a text message and then she's seen for the last time. Because remember, he left and then he came back later and then she left the house, but it was early in the morning, and then she's never been seen again. Like, credit for what, Ramble On? I don't get it. Hey, thanks, Mag. Let's see. Yeah, I've said that 1,000 times. Ramble On. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, I think he killed them all. So I'm going to go over here, and we've got Costello, Bartholomew. I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a video on the probable cause at some point, where it's showing the movements and various things. And I think that would be really helpful. It might be pretty complicated, but I think if I just limit it to doing the 4 cases and don't really worry about the phone calls that he made, just the movements of the 4 victims and burner phone activity. Or maybe I could do one, do parts, I guess. Yeah. Oh, that's right. He texted, do I get credit? Yeah. And then, see, I think I have the time wrong on that, so I'm going to have to go look that up in a minute. But we have right here Costello, Bartholomew. These are where their bodies are found. Exactly. These are GPS entered in. Barnes and Waterman. And then right here there's an Asian male that was found. He was dressed as a woman. And look at that. And Herman looked up that exact same scenario. Sort of like, I think it was a gay Asian term that he used. Don't really want to put it in there, but, so he looked that up. And here this guy is right here, and you're going to say that this isn't related? I mean, obviously, likely, not obviously, but likely a sex worker as well, wearing the outfit there. And then Jessica Taylor's found right there. We've got the toddler and Valerie Mack, who was Jane Doe number 6 at one time. And there was a toddler found right there. And I don't know if the toddler was probably the baby of a sex worker. And now we have, hold on, Karen Vergata. I'm supposed to put that right there. Let me put her name on there. And that was just her, let's see, I think it was legs and feet. So quiet. I'm going to have to get some music. There we go. No, you don't. He texted her, so yeah, that's probably a better way to type. See, I need people to type in sentences when you're replying to something I said. Okay? You guys are on a 30 seconds behind me, so if I'm asking a question and then 30 seconds later I've already talked about 3 different things and then you answer it, I'm not going to know what you're talking about. So you have to type in a full sentence, just like you just did that time, Ramble On, when you said he texted her, so do I get credit? Yeah. All right, let me do the let me look up that document again. Hold on. There it is. No? Yeah, I'm trying to find the PDF. Let me see. Might take a second. Wow, crazy. I'm looking for my Rex Heuermann folder and I can't find it. Is it this one? There we go. Let me put his name in there. Costello. Okay, so let's just do Costello again. Let's get that timing correct on there. How did where did it go? I was just looking at it. It was right in here. There it is. So Amber Costello was last seen alive on September 2nd, 2010, leaving her residence at 1112 American Avenue in West Babylon during the late hours. At that time, she was believed to be working as a sex worker. On September 1st, 2010, the day prior to the disappearance of Amber Costello, Miss Costello's cell phone was contacted by a burner cell phone. Okay, that's where I'm screwing up here. On September 1st, 2010, this burner cell phone had communicated with the Costello phone at approximately 11:33. During those communications, the burner cell phone connected to cell site towers in West Amityville to the residence of Amber Costello and had contact with the Costello phone at approximately 12:05 a.m. on thereafter the burner, so 12:05 right there a.m. burner phone contacts Costello. According to witnesses, around the time of these communications between the burner cell phone and the Costello phone on September 1st through the 2nd, a prostitution client showed up at Miss Costello's residence located in West Babylon, New York. After the client entered the home, a ruse was executed on the client, whereby a person pretended to be an outraged boyfriend of Amber Costello, and the client left the residence while Amber Costello retained the money the client had brought to pay for her services. Based upon interviews, that client was described as a large white male, approximately 6'4" to 6'6" in height, in his mid-40s with dark bushy hair and big oval-style 1970s-style eyeglasses. A witness described him to police as appearing like an ogre. Furthermore, a witness noticed a first-generation Chevrolet Avalanche parked in the driveway of the residence. According to the witness, following the ruse, this client said he was just her friend. Tell her I'll give her a call, and walked out the front door. Thereafter, at approximately 1:18, so maybe I can put these in order so they're a little bit, let's do that. And here's the 1:18. See, obviously these other ones are in here for another reason. So I think they got more specific later. All right. So right there, that's 1:18. On September 2nd, after the ruse had been perpetrated, the burner cell phone sent a text message to Costello which stated, "That was not nice. So do I credit for the next time? So do I get credit for the next time?" Phone records show that the burner phone was located at Massapequa Park within 2 minutes of this message being sent. So he was at home at that time. According to a witness, later the next day on September 2nd, Miss Costello was again contacted by the same client. Oh, that's right. This was the full next day in the evening, not in the morning. Okay, that's why these are PM, like way later, and these are AM. Okay. I think this is the one I should have marked it better. I think that should be probably PM there. Okay. So, according to a witness, later the next day on September 2nd, 2010, Miss Costello was again contacted by the same client that was in the house the next night before with the avalanche. Further, Amber told us that he wanted to see her again, but he didn't want to come back to the house because of her boyfriend. Thereafter, on September 2nd, 2010, so she probably thought, ooh, now I'll actually perform the sex acts, but I can get like double the money. Yeah, but he was going to want a freebie anyways. So I guess she just felt like she had to do it. Thereafter, on September 2nd, I don't know why she left her phone at home now. At approximately 9:32 p.m., the same burner cell phone from the previous evening and early morning again communicated with the Costello phone. So that was at 9:32. So let's see. That's 11:17. Yeah, I don't know if let me put that in there. Hope you guys don't mind. I want to make sure I got everything in here. This is 2010 09:02 at 9:32 p.m. Okay, and this one right here, and this one, and then at that one he texted. So at 9:32, the same burner cell phone from the previous evening again communicated with a Costello phone. All right, so we got that. During the communication, the burner cell phone used a cell site tower in Midtown Manhattan. Following this communication and based upon the cell site records, the burner cell phone traveled to Massapequa Park and had contact with the Costello phone at approximately 10:39. So he was probably still at work. And he went home, called her, and then got a hold of her at 10:39. So let's see. So now it's 2010. 09, 02, 10:39 p.m. Cell phone contacts Costello. Our burner phone, actually. Okay. And PM and 11:05 p.m. cell site records for the burner phone indicate that at approximately, so that was again, so this was let me edit that, so 10:39 and 11:05. Oops. Sorry if this is boring, you guys. I just like to have everything nice and Cell site records for the burner phone indicate that at approximately 11:17 the phone traveled to West Babylon in proximity of the residence. So here we go. So that goes right there. Phone travels to West Babylon. Whoa. Why are those things moving around? Anyways, you can see them. Alright, there you go. So 11:17. The phone traveled to West Babylon, approximately the residence. Subsequently, Amber Costello left the home and her cell phone behind. Jesus, that's crazy. Amber leaves house. Cell phone. Leaves cell phone. There we go. All right. So we got it all in there. So that's the event that really kind of led to the unraveling of Richard Heuermann's reign of terror. And we don't know how many other people he killed, but let me put a pin in here. Or a question, excuse me. Here we go. There we go. We asked the question, do you think... See, people don't want it to be a lot of times because they want there to be some other boogeyman out there to go start looking for. But when you think about it, like, what are the odds that there's all of these sex workers who have been murdered and put on the same beach, and Heuermann was absolutely of ripe serial killer age in 1996. He's 32 years old. Yeah, we've seen that. We've shown that already. Ramble on. There's almost nothing you can put on here that we haven't seen. Let's see. Yeah, I think you're right. You can ogre. Yeah, we showed that about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. The Google Earth. Yeah. Street View. So we're at 85%. So out of the 15%, why do you not think the other ones are related? So anybody out there that voted no, why do you think they're not related? Are you just being contrarian, or do you have a good reason why you think they're not related? Because the MO is different and they were chopped, their bodies were dismembered. Is that what you're thinking? Serial killers they will change their MO over years because they spend time thinking about it. I think we're going to find out that Heuermann's house was a house of horrors where he did some absolutely atrocious, horrendous things to his victims. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if his house is pretty much where he did them all. He probably made sure, just like we found out in the affidavit, that his wife was out of town on all 4 of these cases here, or at least 3 of them. And we don't know if people just say the Atlantic City ones, you know, especially people that have just started following the case. Oh, the Atlantic City ones. Yeah, we don't really know. We actually covered the Atlantic City ones years ago. I don't even know if we were even associating it. They were the ones with I think their heads or feet or whatever were pointing towards a casino. You know, we don't really know. Okay. No, I mean, the dolls are sick. Well, here's what's weird, everybody. So, you know, there's pedophiles in the world, right? So let's say pedophiles are recognized out there. Do they start making dolls for pedophiles to satisfy them? You know, they're not going to be, they're not with actual kids. But how sick is that? Even that thought, to make dolls like that. So I think this guy's a sick monster. Sex workers, to him, were surrogates for little kids. That's why he liked the ones that are 4 feet 8 and 10, you know, like really tiny people. From his house to where Shannon Gilbert was found. Yeah, I don't know. Shannon Gilbert isn't related, so some people think she is, but I don't think so. It was a whole different scenario going on. Yeah. I mean, Shannon Gilbert was over here, and Heuermann lived, where the hell, let's see, I got him in here somewhere. I think it's like, no, right there. Yeah, I think he lives right here. Yeah, isn't that weird? Look at, what do you mean, look at how tall? What does that mean? Was the new girl small too? We don't know. Wouldn't that have been a great question for a reporter to have asked? Yeah, I just think I mean, over time he changed. I think he was probably too messy before. You know, when he would cut him up and so forth. You know, there's probably blood all over the place, and he was just like, oh man. And they were found too, so he probably just thought of a different way to do it. Yeah, ramble on. Yeah, ramble on. Yeah. Your name really fits you, ramble on. Look how tall the Reck's wife is she. Don't know. I don't think we have half of what he's done. Yeah, well, I think they got a treasure trove of information and items out of that house. It wouldn't shock me a bit if they've even found the trophies that he had. See, look at, here's where Costello at 11:33 contacted the phone there. And then, see, just if you look at the way this is set up here, it's a loop, right? So Heuermann lives right there. Watch this. Right there, right? Now this one's outside of that loop, but I mean, you could just extend it and go down like this and around. Except you can't really get, I think, yeah, there is a bridge there. So you can, it's all a big loop. So maybe he shortened it up later, and look at this, just boom, just like that, over and over. And he would pick him up here, go to his house, and likely every single time, I was thinking about this the other day, I forgot to bring it up on the show, but if you think about it, all these bodies are on the beach. Let's see, hold on, let me get that. Right here. And let me go back in time because they put a different road in there. That wasn't there. So this is 2009 right here. Let's see which one. There's a September 2010. So at this point, there literally are bodies right here in this picture. You just can't see them because they're, you know, camouflage, and you just can't see them. And it's pretty wild though, right? Although if they were found, let's see. Yeah, so this is September 2010. They were found 12:10. Now if you look at it, this is a road going this direction. I don't think it's not two-way here. This is a one-way road. So that means the car had to be coming from this direction. So I haven't heard many people talking about that, but it would be coming from this direction. You'll definitely hear about it now though. So once you know that, then that means the killer likely came in like this and then came along and dumped them on this side of the road, because then you'd have to say, oh, they drove this way and then turned around, and you know, that kind of thing. I think he lives right here, and he probably would drive like this, down, cross this bridge here, go like this, dump the bodies, then come back around, go up like that, and then go back to his house. What do you guys think of that? Did anyone hear what? Well, good, Dave. Yeah, so I mean, even though it's a little bit longer, but it's not really longer. I mean, these are right here, right in the middle, because he's there. Well, let's actually measure it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's exactly in the middle. Watch it. Ding, ding, ding. Let's just measure this, just for the hell of it. Okay, so the measurement there is 16.5 miles. All right. So now let's go the other direction. And that's 20.2. So it's just a little bit longer, but it's a big loop that he would go on. You like the song? Okay, good. Wow, thanks though. Yeah, those are the kind of posts we don't like. Okay. But yeah, you know, your comments are cool and everything. It's just like they just come one after the other as if we haven't been following the case, you know. I mean, I don't know if you've ever watched the channel or not, but you should go watch some of the older videos that we've done on it. We know, ramble on. I said you could turn around. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I just said a minute ago that, yeah, you can probably turn around in here somewhere. But I think it's more likely that he, like, I don't think he I mean, I guess it's possible he went like this, right? He drove down like this, and then right around in one of these areas, you know, I don't know if it's there or over here, wherever it is, he turned around, maybe right there, right? Like he could go right to here and turn around. Definitely could do that, you know? Be in this lane, come around over here, and then he goes back the other direction, and that's back this way, right? And then he starts putting the bodies, and then he goes back home. Definitely could do that. But if you look at some of his victims are over here too, although he took them back home, you know, at some point they were back at his house. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, as I mentioned, but if you look at it, it's one big loop too. And the loop actually goes right where Shannon Gilbert was. Yeah. I would never have thought of what, the human hair wig? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you're the only one that typed in human hair wig. I now have to go up and read. Oh, yeah, I doubt it. That there, all these different people's human hair, the victim's hair, are woven into the wig. Give me a break. Oh man! Now watch, it'll be true. Well, we did DNA testing on the wig, and it turns out that all 11 victims on Gilgo Beach's hair is represented on the doll. There you go. Yeah. Let's see. I just think it's not really good odds, but yeah, you never know, right? It's encased in glass. He would take it out after each victim, like Dexter. Instead of the slides, he would put the little piece of hair on there. It's a multicolored hair doll. Creative, Jesus. Let's see, I think Carmen Vargas may be one of his early victims. She was found 1989. on the way to Jones Beach, 5 feet, 105 pounds. Oh, yeah? I haven't heard of that one. That would make him about, what, 25 years old? Yeah, it's like something off of a TV show. Yeah, I mean, I wonder where they found the doll in glass. Was his wife even aware of it? Was it hidden in some secret place? See, that's the creepy part, is they pulled the doll out of the house. Why? You know, if it was just in the living room and the wife was, you know, like, oh yeah, I bought that thing. You know, but it's weird that they took it out of the house. You know, it makes you wonder where exactly in that house that doll was sitting. Was it in a little private room for him to go relive some of his fantasies, you know, by looking at it? Let's see. I live near here. The Robert Moses Causeway is less populated. I want to look up that one, though. What was the case that person... Carmen Vargas. There are too many similarities. Okay. New York City woman thinks aunt is early victim of Gilgo killer. Felicia Figueroa spent more than 30 years believing her aunt might have been a victim of a serial killer, Joel Rifkin, until an architect from Massapequa Park was arrested on July 13th. There are too many similarities. Was dumped on the side of Meadowbrook Parkway in the summer of 1989. Let's see where that is. Hey, at least it was outside the box thinking, ramble on. But like I always say, fill the box with facts, then, well, let's look this thing up. Hold on a second. What is her name? Shit. God. Spent more than 30 years believing her aunt. Carmen Vargas. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay, Carmen. Carmen. Okay, Carmen Vargas, 1989, New York. Let's see if it shows up. I don't see her in the paper here. Yeah. Huh. All right, we'll just read this one. There are too many similarities, Figueroa said, noting her 29-year-old aunt Carmen Vargas was dumped on the side of Meadowbrook Parkway in the summer of 1989. The location is roughly 8 miles from the house of where Rex Heuermann, the accused Gilgo killer, was raised and where his family still lives. So he's lived in that same house the whole time. So any murders that are similar around there while he was of age are definitely something interesting. She was really little, Figueroa said of her petite aunt. She walked the streets. The Gilgo 4 murder victim, who Heuermann has been tied to, were also petite and worked as sex workers. Figueroa told Pix 11 News she was the last person to see her aunt alive in 1989 after an evening at the Central Park pool. Figueroa said Vargas brought her back to the family building located at 106th Street at Lexington Avenue. Let's see. The family's building. She got into a dark car. Let's see. Figueroa said Vargas brought her back to the family building located at 106 before telling the girls to go upstairs. She got into a dark car. I was only like 12 years old, so I couldn't really see, but I could tell it was a white man with glasses. On September 11, 1989, an unidentified woman was discovered dead on the side of Meadowbrook Parkway in Freeport South Merrick Road. The victim would be identified for 3 years. Oh, interesting. So let's see if we can find that. Body found Meadowbrook Parkway. November or September 1989. New York. Okay, I think this might be it. There it is. The decomposed body of an unidentified woman, her ankles bound with... Now we're getting to know something here. This sounds like Heuermann here. Bound with cord and a cloth tied over her face, was discovered near the Meadowbrook Parkway by a motorist who alerted police late Sunday, officials said yesterday. Investigators believe that the woman was killed at another location and dumped by the parkway 2 to 4 weeks ago. Oh man, this is crazy now. Carmen Vargas. What do you guys think of this? Investigators believe that the woman was killed at another location, like his house. The body was found in a wooded area about 30 feet off the west side of the parkway. Okay, so let's get this dialed in here. So look at, you're in the New York area. Apparently she's a sex worker as well, right? And then we've got, they need to get cadaver dogs right now and search that stretch of the highway. I bet you they did not do that back then. They just see the body, they got it. They need to go right along that highway today and get those cadaver dogs out there. Okay, Meadowbrook Parkway. Body was found in a wooded area about 30 feet off the west side of the parkway, a mile south of Merrick Road. Okay, there's Merrick Road, a mile south. See, now you're going, you're heading right towards the beach. I mean, this is crazy. Right, so this is Merrick Road. Okay, so now let's do a mile south. That's it. And then it was 30 feet off the west side. So it's right here. And then 30 feet. That's 30, so it's off the, ooh, shit. Right there. Isn't this crazy? And look at that. That's right on, you know, I mean, from New York, you maybe picked her up. I don't know why he would go there if he lives here, but, you know, who knows, man. So it's probably a street view. You can go right to the spot, and there's a wooded area. It looks very similar, doesn't it, to the Gilgo Beach area? And just put her back in the weeds there. And that's where she was found, unidentified. Strange that the family didn't think about it, you know. The body was found in a wooded area around 30 feet off the west side of the parkway, a mile south of Merrick Road. Police said the motorist had pulled over to the side of the road while on the way to the beach with his family. This is definitely a homicide. There's no doubt about that, he said, adding that it did not appear to be a professional hit. Authorities were trying to determine the cause of death yesterday. He said that because the body was badly decomposed, officials could not determine whether the woman had been sexually assaulted. Police are checking missing persons records to see if the woman's description matched that of any reported missing. Police described the victim as being 25 to 35, 110 pounds to 140, and between 5 feet and 5'4". They said she had a pointed chin, a prominent nose, and a brown ponytail. She was wearing a blue miniskirt and gray tank top and silver crescent-shaped earring. Police have asked anyone with information. Okay, well, they determined who she was. Okay. Was there another one? Let's see. That was the 12th. These look like they're all the same. So that's cool. We found that. Anyways, you guys, that's going to do it. All right. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you to... And thanks, Ramble On, for all your ramblings. I mean, I appreciate you commenting in there. It's just like, you know, I mean, you guys are on a delay, so a lot of times it's repetitive stuff. But he was married before to another woman. Yep, we knew that. Not sure he lived with his mom, and yeah, he's lived in his mom's. That's always been their sort of base house forever. Phony Pin, Cindy Leon, Mom in Jeans, Kathy Chapin, Lisa L, Georgina Stoliker, Teresa Murray, Tammy Morell, Kay Me, Danielle, and Mag. So thank you guys for the channel support. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think they need to get a cadaver dog out here right now and have it go up and down right here and all the way down this entire segment. As a matter, I would keep going. I would do cadaver dogs from right here all the way up to right there, because it's sort of isolated now. As soon as you get to here, it's kind of got woods all around, and I would go all the way down, and I would bet money there are bodies here. Now, if they've already checked, then I would lose the bet, but they haven't. I don't know if they have. I don't think they would have. Here's a body. Why would they get a cadaver dog? Now that you know that a serial killer was in the area at the time, Rex Heuermann was 25 years old, lived right there. You know, you might take a look at it. So anyways, thank you all for being here. We'll see you tonight. We'll probably go over some of the same stuff tonight. Maybe do a little bit deeper into some of this. What do you guys think? It's pretty interesting. If you guys can find any more information on on Karen Vergata. That's weird. Vergata Vargas. That kept throwing me off there. Karen Vergata and Carmen Vargas. Huh. Yep. All right, you guys. We'll see you later. Thank you for being here and supporting the channel. Ramble on. Keep rambling on. Don't listen to me. You know, sometimes I just get like, come on, man. Let me get a word in. But you're not even saying anything. You're typing. Let's see. Yeah. And by the way, they're putting in the finishing work now. Like he's doing the molding around the doors and everything like that. And so after that's painting. And then after painting, they put the toilets, sink, and finish up the shower. You know, like get that all settled. And then after that, they put in the air conditioner. And then we're all good. So it should be done by the end of this month, no matter what. All right. See you guys later. Bye. All right. Have a good one. Ooh, Jesus. What did happen there? Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector. Click rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Greg is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Hey, maybe I should give away some memberships. All right, everybody. Talk to you. Hey, before I take off, I'm gonna give away memberships. Let's see, what do we got here? Let's see. What do we got? There we go. There. That's me talking because I had to open up the video. The only way to do this is to open up the actual video. Membership gifting and there we go. Who stayed around right to the end? And ramble on. Why aren't you a member? Jesus. Whew. All right. There we go. We just did 5. We got ding 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 ding, Merritt, Jim Bino, Mega Truth. I doubt it. Music City Mom 2 and Mickey Morgan. You didn't get one. Well, you don't have to apologize. I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff that you say that we've said many times. All right, well, there you go. I was trying to give you one there, ramble on, but we were unable to pick who to give memberships to. All right, so thank you for being here. And until next time, be safe out there.